Hey guys, it's Sojin.
Hi.
I hope you had a great Christmas. I spent the entirety of mine grinding away without rest to become a Super Saiyan God. Was it worth it? I'll be talking about that and going over all of the benefits and some of the unfortunate downsides that come with it. After my 12-hour shift in the Snake Roll coal mines, I received my godhood at level 270. Without the need to charge ki, I can press H and enter my god form, giving me a new purple bar. This represents your god ki. While you're in the form, it'll slowly drain like normal, and any moves you use will also deplete this reserve instead of mortal ki. At least that's what I assumed until I noticed using moves actually drains both bars, but uses your mortal ki at a seemingly reduced rate. I'm not sure why they would do this, but regardless, you effectively have two ki bars, meaning if you were to run out of god ki and still have mortal ki remaining, you can turn into a Super Saiyan 3 and continue the fight without a problem. This is really good for Saiyans since they have to work with naturally poor ki max, their god form now extending their survivability. So Super Saiyan God has good utility. But actually, I lied. The utility is not good. Everything I just said is irrelevant because guess what? It has no Zenkai, while also activating your Zenkai timer so you can't swap forms to Zenkai off of Super Saiyan 3. You might be thinking you can just do it in the reverse, use your god form after you've run out of mortal ki. But no, not really, because remember, you need at least some mortal ki to use your moves in your god state. This, in my opinion, really breaks Super Saiyan God, making it pretty bad unless you're willing to give up Zenkais, which are almost required for Saiyans to survive. And I haven't even talked about the stats of the form. I'm not trying to be too negative, but the direction they went with God Ki is very strange. The forms are straight up weak. Both Super Saiyan God and Orange Namekian are bad, only saved by having the God Ki passive, and that's depending on how you qualify it being saved. First, let me explain how the God Ki passive works, to my knowledge. When you are in your God form, you now have God Ki. And while this is active, you passively get 2 times damage and defense to and against enemies that don't have God Ki. Cool. Sounds pretty strong. And to be fair, in most cases, it is really fucking strong. But what about the stats? It still has a stat buff. Yeah, the stat buff, it's 5. Plus 5. The number 5. I didn't miss any zeros. It's just 5. This reveals the most glaring issue that I and many other people have with Super Saiyan God. The lack of speed. Your M1s are incredibly slow and low in number because the form gives you no stats. It only passively buffs your damage output and defense. I'm not sure why the developers even bothered to give us 5 stats if this is the direction they were going for. What is 5 stats going to do for anyone? If you perfect Super Saiyan God, you get plus 8 stats. Congrats on your big win. It's not unplayable, but unless you predicted this would happen and put points into speed ahead of time, you now have a powerful form that leaves you unable to really fight with its sluggish attack speed, along with its bad utility problems. I think most would agree that the bad speed stat is the main issue with these forms, but the lack of a Zenkai is the nail in the coffin for me. Did I mention that Orange Namekian has a higher stat buff than Super Saiyan God, despite Namekians having a much higher base stat than Saiyans? They're not even trying to hide it anymore, guys. The developers hate Saiyans. Jokes aside, I really want Super Saiyan God to be more than what it is now, since it's going to be the form for Saiyans for the next 3 to 4 months while we wait for space, possibly longer. A functional Zenkai is needed, as well as possibly a 2 times speed buff added to God Ki, or just a better speed stat increase with the God forms. I hope you guys enjoyed my final stand rant, and if you did, I'd appreciate a like on the video and if you'd subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to reach 1,000 before this spring, and I'll be making much more Final Stand content over the next few weeks. I have a Discord server that will be linked below if you want to join. Anyways, that's about it.